I'm Andrei and I come from Romania, but at 19 years old I moved to Denmark because I wanted to pursue studies there, and I started doing computer engineering, but afterwards I moved to some other subjects. And to the school I was studying, in the school I was studying, I found this program and I thought it would be a good idea to join in. And it worked out so far. And I met other people here, such as Toby.
Yeah, so my name is Toby, I'm 26 years old from Germany, and currently I'm studying my master's studies in marketing and sales, and I found this program through a newsletter that I got by mail, and I thought it would be a good idea to apply for this program, and yes, I had the chance to participate. So Andrew, you said that you saw that program in the internet, but what was the reason why you wanted to participate and go to China?
I've chosen the program because through my studies I've been interested in finance, and I worked in a related subject, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to pursue it, especially because Shanghai is one of the financial centers among Tokyo and Singapore and New York. So there's definitely a lot of finance related stuff going on here. And I thought it would be very interesting to find out about that, and also about how China, pursues its financial endeavor, and how the economy here works. So I had a fair share of that. That's why I thought it was interesting. What about you, Toby? Why did you choose to come to China and join this program?
So the reason why I wanted to participate in this program is that I wanted to have some experience which were related to business in China, and I've been 4 times before to China just for private travel, and this time I wanted to have some business experience here, and ECSA was the only organization which offered me this opportunity to gain business experience in China in a very short period of time, within 2 months, and so I'm able to connect it to my studies and to my job at home, because I don't need to leave the office or my job at home for a very long time, so I can integrate that with a just 2 months period and gain this experience here in China. Andrew, you did remember that we had to choose our business courses here in the first 2 weeks of this 2 months program. So what kind of courses did you choose and why? And what did you learn from them?
Well, the courses that we've had here were pretty interesting, and my choice was for Chinese policies and economics and managing enterprises in China. And I wanted to do especially those because the other choices were human resources and marketing, and I haven't had that much experience or exposure to marketing. And I thought it would be a good idea to find out about policies here, because they're very different than what one would expose or find out in Europe. So that was pretty interesting. The books we've had are pretty much a collection of research papers, and you had to be really good at reading them to actually make sense of what they were talking about. Yeah, there are some interesting bits in those papers. What about you, Toby? What did you pick up as your courses?
So the courses that I took were marketing and sales in China, on Greater China, and the other course was about policies and economics in China. And what I remember is that the interesting thing in policies and economics was how to see how China developed during the last century to its current situation. And in marketing, I really like to see how marketing works in China, because you have to adapt to Chinese culture, and you need to change the advertisements sometimes, for example, like brand names. And I think that was pretty interesting to see, and it's very useful for me because I can use that for my master's thesis in the future, maybe next year, and because I want to write about such kind of topic. And if I compare both courses with each other, then it was interesting to see how the lecturers done the courses, because in the marketing course we had like an American lecturer, and in the policies and economics course in China we had like a Chinese lecturer, and the teaching styles are totally different from each other. And it was interesting to see how these courses and how the way the courses are done, how they differ. Andrei, after the 2 weeks of our business course, we had our internship. So, how did you enjoy your internship and what was it about?
So my internship here was in a company called TDB, and it was about branding and advertising and all that talk. And we were presented with a very interesting topic, and I thought I might have a really good input into it because I come from an analytical background, and I do understand some of the aspects involved. And for the past 2 weeks, I had a good contribution to them, and it was a great experience, I think. Toby, what was your internship about?
My internship was with the Capstone Financial Group. It's a financial advisory, but my tasks were just related to the marketing things. And what we have done was like organize networking events, like calling bars, restaurants, and so on to organize an event where people can participate and join us and get to know each other. And so we could find like potential customers, and that was my task to organize all these events. And what I learned during that internship was like that networking is a very important thing in business and getting to know people, especially in China. And I think that I can get something out of it for my future career.
You just mentioned the networking events, but the program had networking events on their own, and do you think that were helpful, or how did they help you?
I think they were pretty helpful. We met a lot of people there working here in Shanghai, developed their own business, and they shared their experience with us. And personally for me it was very helpful because I get to know some people who share their experiences with me in some interviews, which I can use for my master's thesis. And maybe even in the future I can use that context to have still some context to Shanghai, and maybe come back one day to work here, or getting to know other people who could help me to develop my career. So what is about you? What do you think about the networking events?
They were pretty interesting because I found very good people, especially the ones that I have later worked for. So it was definitely a helpful experience. Besides the networking event we've been involved here, we've also been a part of a big and international group of people with diversified backgrounds. What do you think about that, and what do you think about the experiences we've had in Shanghai?
It was pretty interesting to get to know all these people from all around the world, and who want to share this same experience, and especially here in Shanghai. And I really appreciate Shanghai. I like this town or the city because it's booming so much, and it changes from day to day. It's pretty fast moving, and I can just recommend that all the people who are interested in China and maybe think about to participate in the program, that they should do that without having big hesitates, and they just should apply and do that program. They will learn a lot, get to know a lot of people beside the networking events, and it's a pretty cool thing.
I totally agree with you, but I'd like to add that the whole context here was pretty nice because we got to experience different sides of Shanghai, like the cultural side with temples and sightseeing and modern additions like the whole skyscrapers and all that stuff. That was really good, but also we could experience nightlife and partying here, which was definitely a bit different than what we experienced back in Europe. And overall, it was a pretty good experience, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're totally right, and I think people who have the chance to come to Shanghai really should take the chance.
Mm.